Bridges are supposed to link communities and ideas. Perhaps this is utopian naivety, especially in the Balkans, where they reinforce lasting conflicts. Kosovo's history of bridge building has taken a recent knock as a bridge linking Serbs and Albanians has been scrapped. Bridges or barricades again? Join me, Jan Darasz, for how we got here.
Plans to allow vehicle access to a bridge in the Kosovo city of Mitrovica had been met with opposition and criticism, amid fears this step would escalate ethnic tensions in the region. The bridge was previously used as a military checkpoint and acts as a buffer zone between the mainly Serbian-populated North Kosovo and the rest of the country, which has an Albanian majority. After the plan's initial announcement, hundreds gathered in protest at the bridge, which has become an iconic symbol of Kosovo's division, as it separates around 80,000 Kosovo Albanians in the south from around 50,000 Serbs and other nationalities living in the north. Relations between Kosovo and Serbia remain strained, with Serbia openly rejecting Kosovo's unilateral declaration of independence in 2008. Kosovo's president, Vjosa Osmani, addressed her country's complicated relationship with Serbia in an interview with TVP World.
It's not like both Kosovo and Serbia are contributing to tensions. There's one country, that is Serbia, that has turned itself into Putin's strongest proxy country in Europe. And then there's Kosovo and other countries in the region that are constantly victims of acts of aggression by Serbia, which of course plays also in the hands of Russian interest.
The Serbian authorities reject these claims.
First and foremost, foreign policy goal of Serbia is to become member of European Union. That's why we are conducting in good faith negotiations with Pristina, Kosovo, under the auspices of the European Union since 2011, hoping that we'll be able to reach constructive compromise in order to overcome problems that are present there.
Despite these comments, it is still Russia that continues to benefit the most from the persisting instability in the Balkans. With the memory of the Yugoslavia conflict still relatively fresh, it is in the EU's best interest to mediate current tensions effectively.
I'm joined today by Marta Szpala, a research fellow at the Centre for Eastern Studies here in Warsaw. Welcome once more to the programme.
Thank you for hosting me.
Second time, great.
Yeah.
Can you first of all, we'll start off with this bridge in Mitrovica. Yeah. Can you outline for us the symbolism of the bridge and the delicate balance that the authorities have to play in terms of opening the bridge or closing it, keeping it closed? What's the context?
Yeah, so the bridge usually is the symbol of connection, but in case of Mitrovica, it is rather a symbol of separation of two parts of the city. Mitrovica used to be mixed city, Albanians and Serbs lived there together, but when the Kosovo crisis started in 1999, it's like the city was separated to Albanian southern part and northern part, Serbian one. So people from both ethnicities moved to their side. And the bridge, this main bridge in Mitrovica, it was closed for quite a while, and it was a symbol of separation, actually, of two communities, which used to live together, but after the crisis, they started to live, Serbs in the enclaves, and Kosovars regained control of the country. And the bridge, in process of negotiation, which took place under the umbrella of European Union, led to opening the bridge for pedestrian. So now you can come to Mitrovica and walk from one side to another, and actually it was happening. But now the government of Kosovo, of Albin Kurti, they want to open the bridge also for cars. And for Serbian people who still would like to be separated and not integrated to Kosovo state, it's too much. So they are protesting against opening the bridge, although the city has to another bridge, which there is like normal traffic, but because this bridge is so symbolic, they don't want traffic to be regular there and want to keep it as it was, so only for pedestrians. Yeah, and the bridge is also symbolic because there was like the barricades on that, yes. So also it was like the symbol of the wall between two communities. It is quite paradoxical that the bridge is a symbol of separation, but it is like it is.
Yes. Is the bridge having the effect of exacerbating these wider tensions, or is it the other way around?
Actually, yeah, now there is a huge tension, especially in Kosovo North, because maybe some of you could remember. Last year it was quite intense in Kosovo, mainly due to two reasons. One, in spring we have the protest, I would say, of Serbs who were against they are against the Kosovo state. They don't recognize Kosovo state, and they were against the mayors of towns who were elected in the election. So there is huge protests, and with the regular people, there were also, let's say, some kind of we can say mafia or some football fans who attack NATO soldiers who are there to keep peace. So we have like almost 100 soldiers which were somehow the victims of this attack, so it was quite huge thing. And then later on in autumn, actually, we will have anniversary. In a few days, there was this famous, let's say, attempt of organizing the, let's say, uprising or some kind of terrorist attack in Kosovo North. Fortunately, the Kosovo police stopped the people who barricade in monastery with a lot of military equipment, and they wanted to, spread the unrest in whole area. And because of that, Kosovo state decided to increase the presence of the police in the north, and really due to security reason also to close the border with Serbia, because the guns and the people came from Serbia. It is still we still wonder if the Serbian president Aleksandar Vučić knew what will going to happen and what are the plans of this military group. But nevertheless, we have the proofs that they were trained in Serbia and they came from Serbia with this military equipment. So it was like they wanted to repeat scenario from Crimea, the Russian scenario, to regain control of the north and put their military post there.
We had an interview with the Serbian ambassador in our studio, and he said that the international recognition for Kosovo as a country is diminishing. Is that accurate? How do you gauge that?
No, I think it is more or less the same. Half of the members of the United Nations recognize Kosovo, half of them don't. Actually, Serbia has quite intensive campaign of derecognizing Kosovo, which is strange when you think about international law, because you can withdraw recognition. But yeah, this is what they are doing. But I think Kosovo now, of course, we can say that everybody are accepting the independence. We have 5 EU members who are not recognized Kosovo, but I think it's not like that it is diminishing. Yes. I think it's situation stable.
Yeah. The president of Kosovo, on the other hand, accused the Serbian authorities of being manipulated by Russian influences, intelligence activities in the area.
I would say that every tension in the Balkans, it's in interest of Russia. So the more unstable Balkans are, the less attention is paid to Ukraine.
So, sorry to interrupt you. Are they actually? Is this an official attempt to open a new front, or are they just taking advantage of whatever disorder is in place?
I would say that Russia is supporting the actors in the Balkans who can cause the trouble. and can increase the tension. And of course, there were some hopes in the Balkans, especially from Serbs politician Milorad Dodik in Bosnia and Herzegovina, that after Ukraine or after conquer of Ukraine by Russia, the Balkan will be next, and the Serbs could with Russian support, withdraw the borders in the Balkans. But we know that Russia didn't succeed in Ukraine. So now with bigger engagement of US, we can say that these politicians who are quite vocal about changing the borders in the Balkans now are rather quiet. Because, as I said, Russia is misusing this politician and this local tension, because this tension are local. They are not inspired by Russia. They are supported by Russia. But it's not like that in Moscow somebody...
Engineering it.
Yeah, can decide, that Putin can decide to open the front. Front will be open, it will be in favor of the local politician. And of course, they like to have the Russian support, but it is their decision. It's not that they are manipulated. But as I said, you know, for Russia, every tension in the Balkans, it's in their interest. Because of this tension in Bosnia and Kosovo, NATO and European Union had to increase the military presence in both countries. To stop any attempts to destabilize the countries. And of course, this is also the question of attention. If something is happening of the Balkans, we are not that engaged in Ukraine.
Yes, of course.
And Russia would like us to believe that it can destabilize Balkans. By doing so, they want to discourage us to support Ukraine.
Last time we met, you talked about the EU, prospective EU membership of the Western Balkans. The Serbian ambassador also spoke in his interview about that Serbia has this ambition to join the EU. I mean, is this just pie in the sky, or is this a really
something
attainable goal?
Okay, if this reachable goal, this is one thing. But as political analyst, I always prefer to check what politicians are doing, not what they are saying.
It's always a very good thing to do.
Yeah. So, of course, Alexander Vucic and Mr. Ambassador, they are saying that Serbia wants to join the EU, but when we look or analyze what they are doing, it's rather opposite. So we have the election which were full of irregularities, and we have international report on that. We can say that there were a lot of manipulation, vote buying, clientelism. So we can say that elections in Serbia are fair and democratic. This is one thing. Now there is also a government is chasing activists and protesters. So who has the courage to protest the government ends up either in prison or it is really harassed by the state. This is the second thing. The third thing, institutions are subordinated to the party interest, or I would say leader interest, Alexander Vucic. So it's like full control of one person over the institution. So we don't have independent institution. But the third thing, which is worrying me most, it's like disinformation in favor of Russia, which is coming from government media or the media controlled by oligarchs close to the government. So we are speaking a lot about disinformation these days, but in the Balkans, Serbia is the main source of disinformation. It's accusing Western powers of trying to, interfere in Serbian international affairs. It is spreading disinformation about the Russian goal. You know, it's like the famous cover of one of the Serbian daily in February 2022, when it was said that Ukraine attacked Russia. So that was, the main symbol of this kind of influence. And still they are presenting, EU as weak, divided, full of crisis, and Russia as the biggest friend of all Balkan nations. The problem is also that it's not only for Serbian population, but because the Serbian media are the most read in whole region, it is the source of disinformation for whole region.
Yes.
So you can see that the same articles are copied in Macedonia, in Bosnia, and they are, increasing this anti-EU sentiment, anti-American sentiment.
Sounds like a repeat of 1913 in Serbia as the troublemaker of the country. Final question, a short question to you. How does this affect Kosovo and its immediate prospects, certainly with relation to the EU?
I think this is this tension around the bridge. It is also the symbol of, I would say, failure of EU dialogue on Kosovo and Serbia relation. So at the beginning, we had some successes in 2013, first agreement between two countries. But now the problem is that EU is not credible actor for both government. Like Serbia like to pretend that they want to join EU and they are playing constructive actor, but in reality they are undermining Kosovo independence internally by supporting Serbs' attempts to, build parallel institution in Kosovo, and externally, but advocating for this derecognition or blocking Kosovo to join international institution. On the other hand, for Kosovo government, especially the current government, they really threatened by the Belgrade activity inside the country, especially after this Banjska terrorist attack. So they try to strengthen presence of the police in the north and control whole territory and all the borders. I would say this very assertive policy in Kosovo, it's influencing their relation with EU, that's for sure, especially that we have in the EU countries like Hungary, who are the biggest supporter and protector of Russian interest on the EU level. But the problem is that the EU don't have clue how to solve the issue. Yeah. And this is the problem. And the dialogue, which was based on this promise that, because, ambassador said that Serbia's goal is to join the EU and recognition of independence, it's not connected to that. That's true. But there is one condition, to have good relation with neighbors. This is the condition of the EU. And Serbia working against Kosovo, it's not fulfilling this condition.
Right. Hopes in the Balkans yet again. Marta Szpala, thank you very much for coming along.
Thank you very much for having me.
Great to have you. That's all we have time for today. Join us next time for How We Got Here.